Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If you're new here, hey, this is Nay's Little Garden, where we talk about all things gardening and the things that spark because of gardening. Think baking, cooking, homesteading, all the good canning, preserving, all the good things. So if any or all of that sounds interesting to you, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today I have for you another MIgardener haul. So let's jump right into it. So I've ordered, MIgardener is one of my favorite gardening website. They sell seeds, but they also sell other things as well, and they're just expanding and growing, and I love that for them. I like Luke, who owns MIgardener, the company. I like his channel a lot. I think he is doing this for of course you have to pay your bills, but he really also does it because he truly enjoys everything to do with gardening, and he wants to make sure things don't go extinct pertaining to gardening, and makes it accessible to most people to garden, which was a norm before I was born, and I hope it comes back a little more. I think shops and stores are great, but I do think at least some portion of our things that we consume should naturally come from our space. And you do not need a lot of space. Honestly, you don't even need backyard. You can grow on a deck or a porch. You can grow in your house depending, because there are things like the green stalk that grow vertically, and it takes up maybe four to 6 square feet of space. So, and you can grow a ton of different things. So anyway, let's talk about this haul. So right, real quick, before I bought a decent amount of stuff before, and they did this thing where they gave out me a sample of the Trifecta Plus. This feels like a lot of product. This is a fertilizer, an all-purpose fertilizer. It says that this feeds one plant. What I like about Luke's products are him making it price accessible but high quality is such a phenomenon to me, because usually you get one or the other, and he has combined both. Per the instructions, you really only need to fertilize with his stuff once a year. So this says the ultimate soil supercharger for organic gardening with added trace minerals, beneficial bacteria, and fungi. One thing I am learning about gardening is if you didn't like insects, bugs, and you don't like dirty, you gonna learn to get over it, or you're not gonna be able to garden. Bees scared me. Spiders scared me still, but I don't have as big of a fear of it, because to be outside and touching the soil and growing your own produce, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Some of my produce in the beginning, the early, did not make it into my mouth, because I would grow it and it wouldn't look like the stuff I saw in the store, because that perfect stuff that they're choosing and whatever, you didn't see the bug crawling on it before, really will have you disconnected from your food, and that's insane. I eat that ish now, and I'm like, what are they growing in the store? But that's for another day. Anyway, so I said all of this to show you this, because in this haul, I made my first big girl purchase of something not seeds from MIgardener. And it's this, the Trifecta Plus. I haven't even opened this one yet, but I like the concept of the Trifecta Plus, so I went ahead and got it. The Trifecta Plus is a natural base, all-purpose, premium blend fertilizer, guaranteed to make all types of plants extremely healthy, boost production, and give professional results for a fraction of the cost. Trifecta Plus feeds all season long, and it can be applied to all types of plants during any growth stage. So it says fruits, vegetables, trees and shrubs, house plants, potted plants. I do intend to start doing some house plants. I want some stuff that like naturally cleans the air and does different things, you know what I mean? Which we'll get into another time. But this is a 5, 10, 4. Y'all, the numbers on that stuff used to throw me and I'd be like, I don't get it. And I keep it moving. He breaks everything down in a way that even I can comprehend. So inside the trifecta plus is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And then it tells you on top of that, Luke goes even farther and shows you the guaranteed analysis. So you have your nitrogen is at the 5%. That's the 5. The 10 is like the phosphate, and then, you know, potassium, and then it breaks that down. And so the potassium is 4%, which is why you have 5, 10, 4. And then there's a little bits of smaller numbers, things here, like calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, and so on and so forth. And then it tells you what this is all derived from. Guys, it's insane how much information is on this. Also contains non-plant food ingredients, and it breaks all of this down because of the fungi and the bacteria. It sounds nasty. It sounds nasty, but it's good for the plants in the soil. It's good for the soil, and the better the soil, it's good for the bug them that live in it, like the worms, which then poop and leave good nutrients and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like ooh, but it's so good. It's so good. Trace minerals, bacteria, and fungi help increase water uptake, drought tolerance, and nutrient absorption. They also help with transplant shock and resistance to disease and pests. The bad pests, not the bad one, them, but there are good ones. And then on top of that, it goes on to show you application rate. So if you're planting seedlings, house plants, herbs, annual, perennial, heavy feeding plants, root vegetables, allium, flowers, greens, other fruits and vegetables, and it tells you here how much. 3 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. The heavy feeders get a 1/4 cup. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Guys, tablespoons is crazy. Tablespoons is crazy because there's a lot of products in here. And the feeding schedule, it says basically when you're doing seedlings, it's 3 tablespoons per gallon of soil, which is a lot of soil. So you want to mix this into the soil before you go and do your seed block. Then the only one that gets more than, so houseplants get twice a year, and so does potentially some perennials, but everything else is once a year. So it's not every 3 weeks. You got to come in with this stuff. You do this once and call it a day. This should last me all year. I don't know if it's going to go into the next year because I am growing a hefty amount of plants, but this should last me my entire growing season of spring, summer, and fall. I might buy one more just for sugars and giggles. We'll see. This is 3 pounds though. Anyway, yes. That's that. Now let's get through to the seeds. I'm trying to buy everything I might even potentially want to grow for the next year or more. If something were to happen, am I capable of growing for the entire year without having to buy more seeds starting in January? If I needed to, this is what I'm aiming for. So I have sorry guys, allergies. I have a ton of seeds already. If you haven't seen, yes, please don't judge me. Or do, whatever makes you sleep at night. Let's see, do I have to organize this, guys? I have a ton of tomatoes. I have a decent amount of peppers. I have an okay amount of beans, but there were some things I haven't grown yet. I haven't even tried to grow yet because I didn't have the stuff. So I wanted to make sure to go get those stuff because I feel myself expanding and my knowledge and wanting to test out things. So because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seeds. Excuse me, I got a free seed packet. This is the complimentary salad bowl mix. So it's just a mix of a bunch of different seed stuff, which I will definitely grow. I feel like there's a ton of seeds in here, and that's actually insane. And then it tells you the succession every 2 weeks to stay in harvest. So we have all the dirt on gardening. Hilarious. Ooh, not hiccups now. All right. Napa cabbage. I love kimchi. Oh my gosh, am I gonna have hiccups this whole time? And I want to get into like cabbage dishes, like stuffed cabbage, and also like adding this into my salad. I've been scared of cabbage because there's always like a recall, I feel like, on cabbage, but I'm gonna try to grab my own. There's 300 in here, and on this paper, see how this is all coming together? It says that cabbage needs to be planted 1 plant per square foot. I might try to do, this says plant spacing 6 to 12 inches. So I might try to do 2, which I'll plant them like, and yeah, I might try 2 in some spots and see what the difference is, because this is more of a tightly compact cabbage, except as opposed to like a big heading cabbage. So we'll see with that. And then this is the Black Magic kale. So this I'm super excited for. I do like kale, and I like the look of this kale a lot, to be completely honest with you. Kale is supposed to plant 1 per square foot too, but these get huge, and there's 150 in here. This says 12 to 18 inches apart, so this definitely has to be 1 per something. And this is container friendly and early spring to midsummer. This is cold tolerant, so I wonder if I probably could plant this in the fall and earlier next year than like now. I think it's a little too late, but those 2 things. I got 1 pepper. I have plenty of pepper, I feel like, at this point, but I am interested in this. This is supposed to be a sweet pepper with slightly spicy flavors. This is the Bikinho red pepper. Look at how this looks. This looks like cute little creepy looking cute candies. For some reason, something about this evokes the same emotion as the little dust mote things from that Japanese animated movie, Chihiro. Oh no, I can't remember. And her parents get turned into pigs. Oh no, what's the name of it's one of my favorite movies of all times, and I'm just spacing right now. Spirited Away. For some reason, the same way those little dust smoke cute thingies that run around and stuff, this is like, makes me feel similar. I just think the shape and everything, I know it's super cute, but also like, you know. Anyway, so this is also known as little beaks peppers. Mildly spicy with a unique sweet and tangy flavor that adds a delightful kick to dishes. Prolific as well, producing an abundance of vibrant teardrop-shaped fruits. So they're used for pickling, salsa, or as garnish. So I feel like you could probably, some people pop these in their mouths. So this is 75 to 85 days to maturity. So that's the only pepper I got. I got some more beans. I am starting to appreciate beans. Once you fall down the rabbit hole of learning about different foods that are good for you, and maybe every meal doesn't need meat, or every meal doesn't have to have heavy carbs, or whatever, you know, like there's just different things. You learn about beans and how good they are, and then you learn the different ways to cook them, and it's great and more sustainable for smaller properties or non-existent size properties than, say, meat, right? Because then you're 100% reliant on stores. So here we have the red noodle pole bean. I honestly bought this purely for the look. Like, what is going on here? So this is only needs like 4 inches of space, and these are climbing, and these are 9 per square feet. So each plant makes mad it's insane. It just makes mad beans. So if you do a one like row and you have like a 8-foot long raised bed, like 2 8-foot long raised beds, and you do a couple beans, like so you split four square foot between the two, 4 square foot one type of bean, 4 square feet another bean, 4 square foot a different bean, 4 square foot a different bean, because I have 4 beans here, right? You are gonna get so much freaking beans, because the idea is that you can plant 9 and try to train them to lean into it. Now you could even say I'm gonna plant 6 and make them a little closer to that. My point is you can train them up, and then you have this magical trellis in the summertime of mad beans that you walk through, and you've got these long ass pretty purple beans dangling from the skies. It's insane. I have here this is a bush bean. This is the black garbanzo bean. So I did purchase some garbanzo beans. I love chickpeas. That's what this is, chickpeas. And I just thought it would be cool if I had some black ones. These are denser than a classic garbanzo, perfect for salad, stews, or baked dishes. This was insane to me. I think this is so amazing. They also contain more iron, folate, and antioxidants. And they're slightly higher in protein. Protein is good for you, you know? So that is freaking cool. There are 25 in here, and one is gonna grow a decent amount of these, I'm going to assume. So that makes me very happy. This is a long ass time though. It says 85 to 120 days. For fresh beans, pick when pods are green and swollen. For dried beans, wait until pods are fully dry and brittle. So I'm probably going to do a mixture of the two. I also got navy bush beans. Navy beans I've really been getting into lately. I love stews and soups. And beans are just great for all of those things. This is 90 to 100 days. Harvest beans for shelling varieties when the pods are fully mature, dry, and brittle. Usually 70 to 90 days after planting. So you leave them to dry on the plant, and then you harvest them, and then you can process them. Yeah, you could process them for sure, or you can bag it, and and that's great. This is one of those things you don't have to process, and it's gonna last a decent amount of time. And these are highly nutritious, rich in protein, fiber, and essential vitamins. More like soup, stews, baked beans. I've done these navy beans with like soups and stews, and soups and stews, but also the baked beans, delicious. Baked beans in the stores is good, just to keep it a buck with you, but when you make it yourself, delect. I also got these also partially just literally because of the look. This is the pinto bush bean. Look behind that. Tell me that doesn't look cool. This is the thing about gardening, right? If you watch Jess from Roots and Refuge, she says you want to keep helping yourself to want to garden. Grow things you can't get in the store, really, on a regular basis, or normally, or you've never been able to buy in your store. Ooh, these are heirloom variety known for their distinctive speckled appearance and a robust flavor. So people use these for a bunch of different things. The same thing, refried beans, which is cool. Soups and stews, perfect for home gardeners. These beans are prized for their versatility, nutritional value, and rich, earthy flavor. Ready to harvest when they are fully mature, dry, and brittle. So you're harvesting these to open up the pod for the beans, to cook the beans. You know what I mean? Ensure the beans rattle inside the pods when shaken. Pick before the first frost to avoid frost damage and ensure optimal quality. That's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to show you guys that we'll listen together, right? So those are the beans. I got 1 celery. I like celery. My beef with celery is I buy celery, and you can't just buy like two stalks. You have to buy the entire bunch. And then I use 2 or 3 stalks, and then it starts to kick the bucket, and then I need it again after the celery has kicked the bucket. There is 700. I don't understand how this makes any sense. There is 700. The seeds are so small, so that's kind of concerning. 700 celery seeds in here. That I can plant 9 of these per square foot. So one of these is probably gonna create an actual bush of celery. So what I'll probably end up doing is that I'll leave a square foot and then plant 3 every week until, like, so 3 weeks it'll take me to plant out 1 square. So I'll have plenty of celery. 52 to 7 Utah tall 52 to 70 celery is a robust and reliable heirloom variety, prized for its tall, crisp stalks and excellent flavor. Grows up to 24 inches high, producing sturdy, thick, and stringless stems. Perfect for fresh eating, cooking, and juicing. It thrives in well-drained, fertile soil. It has disease resistance, yada, yada, yada. It's 100 days. So they're saying there's 2 ways to harvest this. You can either harvest the entire bushel, like what you would get at a store, or you can really at the base cut down a stalk or 2, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing unless I'm juicing, because I'm getting into juicing as well. And then it'll continue to grow. So that is so freaking cool. I'm excited for celery too. I think what also makes gardening a little more well-rounded is when you grow a multitude of things that can do different stuff. I'm gonna try. There's 300 in here supposedly of this Catskill Brussels sprouts. I'm not the biggest Brussels sprouts eater, but I've eaten enough that I know I can make it taste good. And I just want to add versatility to my garden, so you have different things to eat. And I think the more you eat something, the more you can learn to love it, especially when you can add different flavors, maple syrup and turkey bacon and chicken and beans and you know, like a barbecue sauce or like a soy sauce. Like, there's just so many bases you can do, and it'll suck it right up and be delicious to harvest. And the way these grow is insane. This is 85 to 110 days, so this is a little long. This is saying, I'm a little confused. This is saying to start indoors 2 to 3 weeks before your last frost, right? But then it says to direct sow 3 to 4 weeks prior to last frost for fall. So I guess they're saying this is cold tolerant, but I just don't get how this is going to grow if it's only 4 weeks before the frost. I don't know. So I have to check this out. I'm interested. Brussels sprouts, here I come. We're on the last section now. Here we have the sweet dumpling squash. Now it kind of looks ugly on the exterior, but I'm interested in different squashes because I've really gotten into squash this year from my local like farmers market. And so I want to just try different squash. They're so good, and you can cook them in different ways. And I want to grow as much as I can of things I don't have to process that will help me get through a couple months. You know what I'm saying? This is 2 to 4 months of storage without me having to process, which is amazing. 1 pound fruit with white skin and green stripes. Flesh is smooth and orange and not too stringy. Plants produce decent amounts of squash that have a wonderful shelf life. Cure the harvested squash in a warm, dry place for about 10 to 14 days, so just 2 weeks, right? To toughen the skin, then store them in a cool, dark, and well-ventilated area. So this is great. It's one of the sweetest varieties of squash, so this is great to me. So here I am. I also got the sweet meat squash. This is another almost 100-day thing. This is a large flattened globe with hard gray-green rind. Sweet meat has deep yellow flesh, is fiberless, and its flavor develops during storage. This is another 2 to 4 months, right? And due to the thicker stem, they are not a favorite for the squash vine borer. So if you have a certain bug like the squash vine borer, this would be harder for them to get into it, you know? So you gotta find what's just gonna work for you. These are also a little ugly in my opinion, but ugly, I feel like these are ugly in like a cool way. Like I would even potentially put these out. I mean, I wouldn't, I'm gonna consume these, but like these are, like, I'm sure some people use it as decoration. I'm gonna assume this is sweet. It's called sweet meat squash, so if not, it's okay. And I feel like you can use these things definitely also for soups and stews, because that's what we use. We use certain squashes for our stews, and soups. The last thing oh my gosh, I cannot explain to you how excited I am about this. I intend for this to be the only time I have to buy this. These are the loofah gourds. Now, supposedly you can consume these. I will, just for the sake of consuming it, or like one, but I'm primarily growing this to round out the gardening experience. This is something you can try out to make loofahs to clean your dishes and yourself and your home with. So this is insane. There's 20 in here. I'm hoping that, because you're supposed to leave them to dry on the vine, and then you shake out the seeds, and the seeds are dried because you let this dry on the vine, so you don't even have to leave them to dry out. I don't believe this is 120 days. This is a long ass time, but I don't care. What the sponge is, they become a dry husk with the sponge is just beneath, but it does take about 3 to 6 months in a dry area with good ventilation to cure. In the early stages of growth, the gourd is edible when still green and under 4 to 5 inches in length. Natural, homegrown, and better than anything you buy at the store. I don't care. Here's the thing. I can do, right? Let's see, I do 6 of these. I'm being very dramatic. I don't want to do 6 of these. Let's say I do 4 of these, because one plant is going to plant and grow mad gourd. If I can do 4 of these and successfully grow 4 and harvest, even if each plant only grows 6 gourds, okay? That's 24 gourds. And so if each gourd is not 1 loofah, you cut that. So even if the 24, you do that by 4 pieces per gourd, guys, it's a lot is all I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I can have 1 for each member. Let's say that I have 5 family members, and once a month we use a new one. That's what, 12 times 5 is 10 and 60 different ones I have to have. Like, it's just grow, which is feasible. Like, this is completely feasible, and it'll last us 365 days, right? So it should make it to the point of the next, or coming to the point of the next harvesting time, which by then, the 2026 growing season, I should be able to get a few more raised beds and perhaps give it 6 plants, and then like the goal could be cool to also give some to the family too, or whatever. So that's all of the seeds. Oh my gosh, I've been here for a minute. I apologize, but I love watching other people's seed hauls and them talking about their garden and what they want to grow, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. I am so excited for the growing season of 2025. It's halfway through December. We're looking at starting seeds in February. So, and I might even attempt to grow microgreens in January, so I might even start doing that just to see how that goes. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this whole video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget that like button. I hope I see you in my next video. Bye bye.